Did you notice at the end of the article, it leaked that information about the federal law about ending forced arbitration for sexual harassment claims? Did you see that
Tell
piece?
me more about that.
Yeah. So in the article, the article will be in the show notes. It mentions something that says, in addition, there have been efforts in Congress to limit the scope of FAA preemption or to ban mandatory pre-disputed arbitration agreements. One such effort resulted in the Ending Forced Arbitration of Sexual Assault and Sexual Harassment Act of 2021. And we know that the wheels of the legal landscape move slow, but it actually just was enacted. I did my research February 10th, 2022. So there is a big pie of things that can go to arbitration with now in your employer agreement. But claims of sexual harassment and sexual abuse are not in that piece. Those absolutely can go to trial, and that's thanks to the federal landscape that we have here.
Yeah, that's a good call out, Joyce. I appreciate you mentioning that. And when we're thinking about arbitration agreements and employees who may be required to now sign them as a condition of their employment, have you ever had an employee who has said, as part of their offer, I'm just not signing this. I don't feel comfortable. I'm not signing it. And if so, I'm curious to know what your experience has been, because in California, that's actually happened a couple of times and the outcome's generally not good.
Yeah, I have actually had that happen here in Maryland. Actually, um, having the arbitration in a handbook or an offer letter, it's good for the employer to do that because it broaches the conversation up front. Quite frankly, I think that any employer that does have a clause of arbitration should be discussing that either in the onboarding process or even maybe in when the offer is extended, because it is a point of contention. So, in the times when prospects were offered employment, there had to be some negotiation, some explanation of like, well, hey, here's why we do it. And Summer, to your point, it makes, disagreements settle faster. So there have been times where employees have signed, but there have been times where employees have pushed back and said, no, thanks. I want to retain my rights to the council. And it's really a more savvy person who even like broaches that topic in the first place, because I think um, sometimes employees don't read the fine print or the quote unquote boilerplate of employee handbooks and contracts. But this is something that if it's top of mind to an individual, they're going to want to have a conversation about.